munorwira mutungamiri
and we fight over a political leader
zvokuurayana kuparuzevha
to the extent of killing each other in the village.
woti tinofunga
And we say that we are thinking people
kuurayirana munhu
killing each other over a person,
anogona kumuka akafawo iye wacho
a person who can be dead tomorrow.
delusion.
That's a delusion.
hatifanira kuvengana nokuda kwemapolitical parties.
We should never hate each other over political parties.
Our greatest weakness as a people is that we lack love for one another. Zimbabweans are the most selfish and self-serving and self-hating people.
Tikazvibatira padumbu kungoti no vanhu vangada
If we
tauni
just
yese nemarara
start this story midway,
ndo economy yacho.
that's the economy.
Zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka.
Things are not well.
Ndokubvunzai mushe neshona kuti
I'm
imi
asking-
mufunga kwenyu vese right now vakati kwati na president
In your imagination, is everybody who's close to the president?
vangari vapresident
Was he an ally of the president?
kana vapo kudai so
But when they're coming like this,
kunoramba kuchisvibidzwa vamwe
they continue to sully other people's homes.
no vamwe vanoramba vachingosvibidzwa uyu ndiye muvengi uyu ndiye akazodai
They
uyu ndiye
throw other
akazodai
people under the bus. They say that was your enemy, that person did this and that.
So kumba kwenyu mimi kuchatoda kuti mutange mambowirirana mese kuti our biggest problem is this government in power. Kana musati maakuwirirana izvozvo ndiyo madhetsa acho iwayo. Ndo madhetsa kuti zvinhu zvichanaka rini.
Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa has joined forces with Apostle Chiwenga in a subtle way to criticize some acts of the government or some other things that the government is doing. First, he criticized the people that are not wanting to see unity inside ZANU-PF or seeing unity amongst Zimbabweans. The reason being that polarity of Zimbabweans is benefiting other politicians. For example, what is happening right now when there is the people inside ZANU-PF that are criticizing the likes of Vana Gomwe and other people who have left the party and speaking bad about these people, they are not encouraging unity. When we are already outside the time of elections, they are not encouraging unity. This is not good for a country. If we want to build a nation, we need to build a nation by uniting each other. So that is first thing. Then the second thing that Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa says is that there is need for the government to not take people's stuff, especially vanhu vekanzuru, people of vekanzuru. Matorero vanoita zvinhu zvevanhu, vanotorera zvinhu zvevana gogo and doing other things. And demolition of houses. This is not a new thing. You saw what happened last year in Belvedere, where houses were destroyed. And then you ask yourself, how can people do such a thing? And this is addressed in the message by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. You can start it from 2 hours, 25 minutes, when he starts to give the prophecy about Xavier Kasukwere and a whole lot of stuff, and encouraging the current government to embrace the likes of Xavier Kasukwere, Professor Jonathan Moore, that they are better back in Zimbabwe than them to be outside. Even the likes of Opo Chingono, Apostle Chiwenga, and other people, that they are better serving in their own country and giving the knowledge that they have to the country than outside. Then I've joined the other part of the video of Apostle Chiwenga talking about the importance of unity or of feeling for each other as Zimbabweans. If that feeling starts to have to be part of us, that's when things are going to start to change. So if you listen to the message of Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa from 2 hours, 20 minutes and until 3 hours, he addresses all that prophecy and everything. So please go check it out on the channel of Prophet Makandiwa, but also go and check out Apostle Chiwenga's message, all that in the description below. But tell me what you think about this, because personally I feel that until we Zimbabweans start to feel for each other, there is no reprieve for our lives in the near future. Because if we start to feel each other, when others are feeling the pain, let us feel that same pain. Because the moment that we say, indoda yazibonela, each man for himself, and all of that, we forget that the pain that this other person is going through, like my brother, Blessed Mhlanga, the journalist, he is being incarcerated today. Tomorrow it will be you, a journalist. Tomorrow it will be you, a vendor. Tomorrow it will be you, a car dealer. Tomorrow it will be you, a doctor. Tomorrow it will be. So if you put yourself in that shoes, you start to realize that, no, this is not the way to go as a nation. We need to start to feel for each other. But tell me what you think about these war videos, and tell me what you think about the stance by Prophet Makandiwa and the stance by Apostle T.F. Chiwenga. I'll see you on the next one. It's bye for now.
Because zvinhu zvezve hazvirongwe hazviitwe 5 years muchironga
How many years?
unobatwa
Because you can't plan such a thing over a 5-year period. You'll get caught.
iwe
You.
why zvakaignoiwa pandakaprofita? Because kwavari it was nonsense.
Why was it ignored when I
Nothing like
prophesied?
that can ever happen.
Because to them it was nonsensical. Nothing like that could ever happen.
Panapa ndiprofite panapa muchechi muno ndakaguma.
In this church, I don't prophesy.
Handine shoko rako ndokutsvaga
If I have a message for you, I'll look for you
kukubatsira
to help you.
kubatsira.
To help you.
Ukaona ndichifamba nevatungamiriri nechi hazvireve kuti hapana nyaya dzatinotaura.
You see me working with leaders, it doesn't mean
Hazvireve
that
kuti hapana chokwadi chatinoudzana.
we don't discuss certain things, we don't tell each other plainly certain issues.
Nemi muchida kuti zvitaurirwe panapa.
You would want it to be declared from this place.
Tozamune muchida.
That's what you would want.
Kana iwe ndakambokuudzira twese panapa nezita ndokuti sumuka.
Even you, have I ever revealed all your issues here? Told you to stand up, call you out by name.
Munthu ndakutarisa so nechiporo chatoona kuti misikanzwa ona ndatsikitsira ndakutotsvaga mumwe.
When I look you in the eye and I can see that you're very mischievous, I just look for somebody else and I move on.
Unenge wayaruka mumavisions
You will have matured in
nemuzviratidzo.
visions and signs.
You now know how to dish out information in the right way. I'm telling you all this so that you understand kuti chiprofita,
The prophetic,
there are giants in the prophetic that are not even prophesying. Greater than those prophesying. Because those ones, they cause things to happen. Vanoita kuti zvinhu zviitike.
they cause things to happen.
Vasina chavataura.
Having
Pane
said
vanhu.
nothing,
Kana ndiri panapa, I'm preaching to you, I'm not praying.
if I'm here, I'm preaching to you, I'm not
I'm
praying.
not talking to God, I'm talking to you. When it's time for me to talk to God and to deal with my matters,
And to deal
then
with
you will
matters.
understand kuti chiprofita chakakwirira kupfuura nyaya kutaura nyaya.
Then you'll understand the prophetic is bigger and higher than simply discussing issues.
Huh? Huh? Are you following me? Zveza ndiri kutaura izvi anotori part of my solutions ekutoti even munhu waunofunga kuti enemy ari kure uko ifriend ukamuisa padhuze.
All of these things that we're discussing, these are part of the solutions. People you think are enemies from a distance are friends when you bring them close.
Ndizvo here?
Is that so?
Munhu waunofunga kuti enemy
The person that you believe is an enemy,
kure kwaari
it's just because of the distance between you, how far from you they are.
chete,
That's all.
kure kwaari.
It's just the distance.
Imuri kundiudza here kuti vanhu vese zvino izvi
Are you telling me that everybody
vari padhuze nemukuru wenyika
that is close to the head of the country
were for him?
were for him?
Ndiri kukubvunzai ka mushe neshona kuti
I'm
imi
asking-
mufunga kwenyu vese right now vakati kwati napresident
In your imagination, is everybody who's close to the president?
vangari vapresident?
Was he an ally of the president?
Kana vapo kudai so
But when they're coming like this,
kunoramba kuchisvibidzwa vamwe.
they continue to sully other people's names.
No vamwe vanoramba chingosvibidzwa uyu ndiye muvengi uyu ndiye akazodai
Throw other people under the bus. They say that was your enemy, that person did this and that.
Panotanga revival yedu when we start uniting ourselves, bringing back our forces, by bringing back our resources, by bringing back our educated brothers and sisters. Kuti wese a graduate in Zimbabwe, arutanga tutora visa.
Where it seems like everybody who
The
graduates
certificate
in Zimbabwe,
ye education I visa wakufana to
it looks like a visa.
practice zvawadzidza kunze kwenyika.
You are forced to
When
practice
we
what you
start
learned outside
bringing
the country.
back everyone, vanhu vakatanga kudzoka
When people start coming back-
wazvona we have people in exile who are not even enemies of this country. Who are not. And we have enemies of this country who are in this country. Enemies. 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 Enemies, real enemies, enemies who are around. Uchifunga kuti ini ndinoparidza zvepolitics,
If you think that I preach about politics,
uri right.
you're right.
Hapana zvandosiya.
I don't know anything.
Hapana zvandosiya.
I don't know anything.
Hapana. Hapana.
I won't leave anything out.
Because I know once I see something, ndikati kuti solution iyi ndiyo.
And
Ndiyo.
we say that
Chero
this is
vanhu
the correct
vakatenderana
solution.
nekoko vakadiyo kusvika mangosudzoka ipapo.
Until you come
When
back to the
people
solution that I
start to
had.
unite, my Zimbabweans, I know this is going to be very, very difficult for you to accept. Munofunga kuti maybe solution is outside.
I know
When we
Zimbabweans-
start uniting, Tega,
When you start to
and
unite,
agreeing and accepting each other, Tega,
amongst ourselves,
kuti ukangoona
where
a
if you see
fellow Zimbabwean woziva kuti he is my brother,
a fellow
is my
Zimbabwean and
sister.
you know that that's my brother,
hakuna chabira mumwe,
that no one is going to steal from the
hakuna
other,
chaponda mumwe.
no one is going to beat up the other.
Delusion. Takabhoiriswa pfungwa idzi.
It's a delusion. Our brains
Dzikaibva mbadzayanikwa mbadzaoma.
were boiled, they
So
became
once
ripe,
brain dzango biltong,
and they were hung out to dry.
apasisina, you cannot, because honestly,
Once your brain becomes
ndiudze
neutral.
kuti ndiani politician angaite power
Which politician can become powerful?
rekuti vanhu vanomukirana kudamburana zvigunwe kudai, vanhu vanodamburana maoko kumamisha uko,
To the extent that people can start chopping
kuti
off each other's
uri
feet
wepati yakati uyu achiti uri wepati yakati.
over which party.
Same village, musha panapa, musha wenyapa, munda wakapa, munda wakwapa,
My homestead here, yours there,
munorwira mutungamiri
and we fight over a political leader
zvokuurayana kuparuzevha.
to the extent of killing each other in the village.
Woti tinofunga
And we say that we are thinking people,
kuurayirana munhu
killing each other over a person,
anogona kumuka akafawo iye wacho.
a person who can be dead tomorrow.
Delusion.
That's a delusion.
Hatifanira kuvengana nokuda kwema-political parties.
We should never hate each other over political parties.
You must look at Zimbabwe from its God-given perspective. There's a proper perspective here. When you look at it, apana party.
When you look at it, there's no party.
Apana party.
There's no party.
Apana party. Ingandambo kupa inzwisa wani ndikati ona munhu wese ari muzano achadzingwa vakadzingwa vese.
I gave you a
Andakuudza.
test. I told you everybody in
Aiwa
Zimbabwe will be
wakanaomana
ousted and they were
naomana.
ousted.
Ungataura zvakadaro usingaprofite. How do you stand pamberi pevanhu woti everyone in ZANU-PF will be fired?
9 April 2017.
Vanenge vachifayiwa nani?
Who would be firing them?
Yeah. Vanenge vachifayiwa nani?
Who would fire them?
Iwe zvifunge vanenge vachifayiwa nani kuti munhu wese ari muZANU-PF ari kufayiwa?
When you think about it, who would be the one to fire? Everyone in ZANU-PF is being fired. By who?
ukazozwa ndakutaura zvinhu woti ondisa muqueue yevanhu vari kucomment about politics ndibvise imomo.
And then you hear me saying
No,
other
no,
things and you
comment,
put me in the
comment,
same queue of people commenting about politics.
Uh-uh.
Please, take me out of that category.
When we start looking at each other neziso
With the eye
reukama
of fellowship,
kuti hanzvadzi yangu iyi
that my sister, my brother,
haitambure
cannot
ndiripo,
struggle when I am there.
brother yangu iyi
That my brother
haitambure ndiripo,
cannot struggle whilst I am there.
hazviite. ini ndine mabasa ekuti chero dai kunzi ndatambura ndashaya, chero ndikanzi ndikupiwa mari iyi, I can never imagine myself beating my own mother nekuti vari kutengesa madomasi pamusika.
Because
never.
she's selling tomatoes in the market.
handisi kuti harizi basa, ndiri
I'm not
kuti
saying it's not a job.
inini
I'm saying that I personally, I,
hakuna chinoitika pandiri kuti ndisvike pakurova mai, andirove mai vangu, hazviite,
nothing can ever happen to me that will cause me to beat up my own mother.
hazviite.
That will never happen.
Kana riro rega basa rasara ndinoresigna.
If that's the only job remaining, then it's time for me to resign. I'll resign.
Izvozvo ndofanira kufunga kuti mai vangu ava
I have to think that my mother,
vasirwa vazukuru vangani,
how many grandkids is she looking after?
vanhu vari kuita misikanzwa wako vofa vosiya vana vese vari kunoungana pana gogo.
People do a lot of mischief out there, then they die and they leave
Saka
their kids
gogo
for the
ava
grandmother.
vakasatengesa
So if she can't sell these,
tumapepa twematemba,
these little carpenter fish, these,
gogo ava vakasatengesa mazhanje,
that if she can't sell fruit,
handisi kuti ngazviitwe zvisiri ndiri kungoti ndofanira kufunga kuti
I'm not
saka
saying,
pinda mutsoka dzagogo uone uine vana 7 pamba
Put
vana
yourself
kudya.
in her shoes.
Pinda mutsoka dzagogo kuti
and imagine those 7 kids depending on you.
ngative inyika,
Let's be
yes,
a nation
inoziya zvokurambidza, but uchiuti vanhu kana watiregedza icho pane chokuita, ngapange paine
that knows what to forbid.
chokuita.
Where we say, if you can't do this, we have an alternative for people to pursue. There's something else for people to do.
Ini mubvunzo wangu uri kuti ndiri kuda kuziva kuti kana ndarambidza
Having forbidden
mbuya ava kutengesa
this grandmother from selling
mazhanje,
fruits,
ndiri kuti voita sei? Handisi kuti musandise nharo ka,
Well,
ndiri
what
kuti
is she supposed
chindiudzai imimi izvi ndo zvakaipa kaizvi, chindiudzai kuti gogo voita sei nevana 7
I'm saying, tell me what she's now supposed to do with the 7 kids
varoda
that she
kuenda kuchikoro, pari
has to look
kugarwa,
after,
pari kuda renti,
that have
chikafu
to
chiri kudiwa every
go to
day.
school, that have to eat, where rent has to be paid.
Gogo voita sei?
What is she supposed to do?
Ndo zvamunofanira kundipindura kana pasocial media, kana chipindura nyorai muchiti gogo ngavaite zvakati nezvakati.
So on social media, if you're going to respond, please go ahead and respond with a list
Toudza
of what
gogo
she's
kuti
supposed to
gogo
do. And
zvanzi
then,
ndamuita zvakati nezvakati.
and then we can go back to Gogo and tell her what she's supposed to do.
Tsitsi dzakaenda kupi?
Where did our mercy go?
Tsitsi
Mercy.
dzakaenda kupi?
Where did our mercy go?
Hatizi tese chero nyika yakanzi yaropafadzwa, hatizi tese tichaita mamiliyoneri.
Even in these countries to be blessed, it's not
Kuno mumwe
everybody.
munhu asitorina shungu dzekutombotenga Bugatti kana
It's not everybody who is a
kana
millionaire.
Lamborghini.
There's some people who have no desire to buy a Bugatti or a Lamborghini.
No, vari kuda half bread,
They just want a half loaf.
vari kuda ma-vegetables nemadomasi per day.
They want vegetables
Zvapera.
and tomatoes that will see them through the day. That's it.
Zvapera.
That's all.
Tsitsi dzinotipa kuoverlooka zvimwe
Mercy
zvinhu.
will allow us to overlook certain things.
Chero tichida utsanana
Even if we're looking towards health
mumadhorobha edu,
within our cities.
hatingokopa nyika dzine utsanana,
We don't just copy the nations that have
tinokopa
got neat
nemaeconomies
cities.
adzo.
We have to copy also even their economy.
Havana kutanga nemuramba tsvina,
They didn't start
No.
by refusing.
vanonovaka maflats,
They start-
maaccommodation, vouya kumatangwena vopaza voti endai kudzimba dzakavakwa.
They start by building accommodations before they destroy shanty towns.
tikazvibatira padumbu kungoti no vanhu vangada
If we
tauni
just-
tsitsi dzinotipa kuoverlooka zvimwe
Mercy
zvinhu
will allow us to overlook certain things.
chero tichida utsanana
Even if we're looking towards health
mumadhorobha edu
within our cities.
hatingokopa nyika dzine utsanana
We don't just copy the nations that have
tinokopa
got neat
nemaeconomies
cities.
adzo
We have to copy also even their economy.
havana kutanga nemuramba tsvina
They didn't start
No.
by refusing.
vanonovaka maflats
They start-
maaccommodation vouya kumatangwena vopaza voti endai kudzimba dzakavakwa
They start by building accommodations before they destroy shanty towns.
tikazvibatira padumbu kungoti no vanhu vangada
If we
tauni
just-
yese nemarara
Start this story midway.
ndo economy yacho
That's the economy.
zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka
Things are not well.
unoziva here kuti kana uri panguva yekugarika
Do you know that if you're living in a time of peace
uchiwana
and you have abundant resources,
ukanzwa kuti vamwe vanhu vari kutambudzika unofunga kuti vari kuzviitisa
when you hear that other people aren't doing well, you think that there's something that they are failing to do.
ndo andati madeceitfulness of what riches
And that's what we're calling the deceitfulness of riches.
kana iwe uine mari pese pawatarisa unongoona maopportunities
When you have money, everywhere you look, you see opportunities.
kutoshaya kuti vanhu vari kuzviitisa ava kana yese zvese izvi zvinhu
And you wonder how people are failing to capitalize on that.
pese pauri ziva kuti
Wherever you are, you should know
kune munhu ane 2 days
that there's somebody who has spent 2
arongomedza mate
and
3 days arongomedza mate
they haven't eaten a single thing.
mate ngomedza mate
Literally, they've only swallowed their own saliva.
we should love each other as a nation love we should love each other. Very soon I'll be teaching you on these issues of tithe. And I'm going to tell you something there because I was going through the entire
reprieve in the short side. As we speak right now, I don't see things changing this year or next year. I don't see that. That's the shortest term I can see. I don't see anything changing. What I rather heard as a voice, it said to me, what is wrong with the people of Zimbabwe is that they don't feel for each other. When someone is being harassed, when someone is being attacked, when someone is being abducted, killed, violated, sexually abused, the society in Zimbabwe turns a blind eye. It's one man for himself, God for us all. So what God has decided to do, he has decided to use this rogue government that a significant percentage of our people, each one receives a fair share of their own wounds. And the pain is going to unite us. Political ideologies will not unite Zimbabweans. Religious ideologies will not unite Zimbabweans. No. But pain shall eventually unite Zimbabweans. Okay. This time we hear that the government is destroying people's homes, saying that they are illegal settlers. A responsible government does not do that. People are being evicted to create space for the Chinese mines and mining companies to exploit resources in villages where people have been living for centuries. The government doesn't care. What God has decided to do is we are all going to be victimized until one day there are few left who are not victimized. And the pain is going to be the uniting factor. Our greatest weakness as a people is that we lack love for one another. Zimbabweans are the most selfish and self-serving and self-hating people. We hate ourselves and we hate ourselves at the same time.
Yes.
So, if there is any prophecy of peace and prosperity that you have received, I am sorry, I am a bearer of bad news. I don't see prosperity in the short-coming future. What I see is more victimization, more sorrow, more pain. People are going to lose properties. Properties are going to be lost because of politically motivated agendas. People are going to lose jobs because companies will continue to shut down until everybody says, what do we have left? Nothing. Let's now claim back our true position in the society. The government of Zimbabwe is the boss. The people of Zimbabwe are the servants. That's the simplest definition of a dictatorship. A proper leadership is when the president and his government are servants of the people. If you don't know this, go and read a book called A Man of the People. I think it was written by Chinua Achebe. It's a very simple book. You can understand this very simply. So as long as we acknowledge and we receive and we take this position that we are servants, and that's why we call ministers chef. Unosangana na minister oti makadii chef. Iwe ndiwe chef kuna minister. Minister akatoya akatsvaga basa kwauri. Ukampa basa rekuti atungamirire hurumende yako on your behalf. But now wakusangana na MP, wakumuti chef. Ukusangana na minister, urikumuti chef. Ukusangana na president, urikuvati chef. President havasi chef vako. Iwe ndiwe chef wa president. He works for you. That's a proper democratic institution. Zimbabwe is not. Our democracy is a Ponzi scheme. Are we going to wake up? Yes. Are we going to wake up this year? No. Are we going to wake up next year? No. We are not going to wake up in the next 2 years. We are going to continue suffering. But the light is no longer as far away as it was 5 years ago.
All right.
Prayer will not change these days. Try to do it, I'll be here. If you hear God more than I do, I will repent on that particular day. There's nothing that is coming in the next 2 years. So, kumba kwenyi mimi, kuchatoda kuti mutange mambowirirana mese, kuti our biggest problem is this government in power. Kana msati maakuwirirana izvozvo, ndiyo madetsa acho iwayo. Ndiyo madetsa kuti zvinhu vichanaka rini. All right. So far and so much about the prophetic utterances